Today I want to show you how to attract a man with psychology, and I don't just want you to take my word for it. I actually want to share 14 scientific studies with you that show you exactly what you have to do to attract a man with psychology. So now let's get started. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2008, individuals who display confident behavior are perceived as more attractive and desirable by potential partners. And according to this research study, this is also true for women who want to attract a man. And I say this so specifically because so many of my amazing Skype coaching clients are afraid that their confidence is not an asset, but a liability, because they've been brainwashed to believe that men are not attracted to confident women. But that's not the case at all. Yes, narcissistic abusers who want to find victims, they are not attracted to confident women. But a man who is self-confident and a man who lives his life in a confident way and who also wants to have a partner who lives her life this way, he is attracted to a woman who shows confidence. And according to science, this is also true. And if you then also smile at him when you see him, if you hold eye contact and smile at him, this can make all the difference. Don't ever underestimate the power of a smile, because in a study published in the journal Emotion in 2013, researchers discovered that smiling increases your attractiveness and your likability. And it also signals to your potential romantic partner, in this case the man of your dreams, or at least the guy where you say, yeah, I can imagine dating him, that you are open-minded to him approaching you and that you actually want to talk to him. And if you then also laugh about his jokes and also crack a few jokes yourself, this can make it so much easier for him to fall for you. Because according to a study published in the Journal of Personal Relationships, the researchers discovered that humor is a highly valued trait in potential partners. And again, this is also true for women. And there is this kind of stereotype that men love women who laugh about their jokes and only that. I mean, yes, there is research that says that a man will perceive you as more attractive if you laugh about his jokes, but that doesn't mean that you being funny is not attractive at all. You can do both. You can laugh about his jokes and then also make him laugh. This is the perfect combination. And if you then also mirror his body language, you will give him the feeling that you get him, that you understand him, and it will make you appear more likable. At least that's something that a study published in the journal Personality and Social Psychology discovered. And if you're then also attentive and you listen actively, then you show him that you actually have a genuine interest in him. And it also shows him that you have a genuine interest in his beliefs, in his thoughts, and what he stands for. Because then, when you actively listen and you then at the same time use the information that he gives you to seduce him, to attract him, to make you appear more interesting, this will make it so much easier for you to bond him to you and to make him say, yes, this is the kind of woman who I want to date. This is the kind of woman who I want to spend my time with, because he will feel validated and he will get the feeling that you really pay attention to him. And if you then also share personal information with him, of course not too personal, you don't want to say on the first date, hey, by the way, that's my home address and that's where I live and that's where I go to work. That's of course not what I mean. But you, for example, share something about yourself. To give you an example, when I was on a date with women, I mean, now I'm in a very fulfilling relationship, so I don't go on dates, but when I used to be single and I was born with a congenital heart defect, I had multiple heart surgeries in my life, and I was very honest about that from the get-go. I opened up about it, and this also, of course, shows that I'm confident about myself, I'm confident about my scars, and I'm confident about who I am. And I then disclosed the fact that I have this heart condition and that I had these surgeries. And according to a study published in the journal Personality and Social Psychology, the researchers came to the conclusion that sharing personal information, especially sharing personal information that has an emotional impact, can make you more likable, more relatable, and it can increase attractiveness. And if you then also use positive language, then of course he will fall in love with you. So for example, if you talk to him, the last thing that you want to do is to talk about all the terrible things that are going on in the world and all the shit is happening when you watch the news, and then the energy goes down, down, down. That's of course what you don't want to do. You want to talk about topics that are lighthearted, you want to talk about topics that are fun, and you want to use positive language. And this is also proven by science, because in the journal Psychological Science, a study came to the conclusion that using positive language, such as words that convey optimism and enthusiasm, can increase attraction and likability. And if you then also, while you talk about these positive topics and you use positive language, you touch him a little bit, oh, this can make him go crazy. And yes, you want to touch him, but of course, you also want to touch his heart. In fact, you want to make him 100% devoted to you. You want to get him to a point where other women don't even exist for him anymore. And yes, you can do that. You have this power within you. And you can do that by using the devotion sequence, which is a very powerful sequence that you can use as soon as you actually meet him, or on the first date, or even when you have your first phone conversation before you go on the first date. And if you want to find out more about this incredible method, you can go to gethimkeephim.com/devoted. That's gethimkeephim.com/devoted, or you can simply click on the first link in the description. And yes, when you click on the link in the description or you go directly to gethimkeephim.com/devoted, you have the opportunity to invest in the program. It's a very affordable program and I recommend it to you because so many of my coaching clients and so many of my listeners have benefited from it. So you might also want to invest in it and then experience for yourself the power of the devotion sequence. And I want to be 100% transparent with you. If you invest in this program by clicking on the first link in the description or by going to gethimkeephim.com/devoted, I receive a commission for it. But I only recommend it to you because I truly believe with all my heart that this program is incredibly valuable and that you can gain a lot from it. So you might want to check it out. And then be authentic. And now let's go very briefly back to touching him. There is in fact again scientific research that proves this, even though I believe that in this case I don't even need to quote a scientific study. You already know that when you touch him a little bit that he goes crazy. But the Journal of Social Influence came to the conclusion that individuals who engage in light touching, such as brushing an arm or a hand, can increase attraction and a feeling of closeness. And speaking of a feeling of closeness, you also want to be authentic, because in a study published in the journal Psychological Science in 2015, researchers found that authenticity, or being true to oneself, is an attractive trait in potential partners. And this also goes back to what I shared earlier when it comes to disclosing something about yourself. When I talk about my heart surgeries and when I talk about what I've been through as a child and as a teenager, I am authentic. And at the same time, I live my authentic self. I don't hide anything. Even though it might not be the most attractive thing to share on the first date, it actually makes me more attractive because I'm authentic. So if you, for example, have any flaw that you're insecure about and you feel that, yeah, I don't want to disclose it on the first date, maybe I shouldn't talk about it, I truly believe that authenticity is incredibly attractive, and I believe that being authentic can make you so much more attractive. So you might want to try to open up, and this also, at least in my personal experience, helps you to accept yourself more and to also, to live a more authentic life, to be more confident about your imperfections. And we as human beings, we are all imperfect. And this leads me actually to the next point, and that's to be vulnerable. Because according to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, and this study was published recently in 2018, individuals who display vulnerability are perceived as more attractive and likable by potential partners. And nowadays, both men and women are brainwashed with this idea that we have to be perfect, just like our Instagram filters, and we can't be vulnerable. In fact, we can't be human beings anymore. But I believe that especially in this day and age, with all the fakeness in social media, people, and that's true for men and women, are longing for authenticity. We are longing for vulnerability. We are longing and craving for this real human connection. And you can then, by being vulnerable and by being confident when it comes to your vulnerability and your openness and you sharing something about yourself, you can, of course, on the one hand, feel more at peace with yourself, more confident in yourself, and you will also have an easier time attracting the man of your dreams. And what you then also want to do is to create a shared experience, because in a study published in the journal Personal Relationships, researchers found that creating a shared experience, such as, for example, cooking a meal together or participating in a fun activity, can increase attraction and closeness. And of course, you want him to come up with that idea. You want him to come up with a creative dating idea, or let's say a creative first date or second date or third date idea. However, some men are just not that creative. So you might want to suggest in a text message or also in person that, hey, maybe we could be doing this. And that's what I always call an activity date. And activity dates are perfect, not only for establishing this kind of connection and closeness, as these researchers discovered, but also for then touching him and for allowing him to touch you, of course, with your consent, if that's what you want. And if you then also, while you provide this opportunity for yourself and also for him to get to know each other and to get a little bit physical, remember that eye contact is incredibly effective. Because in a study published in the journal Personality and Social Psychology, researchers discovered that making prolonged eye contact can increase attraction and perceived closeness. And what's also important for you to understand is that when you then hold direct eye contact and you already give him this beautiful, warm, fuzzy feeling, if you then use the devotion sequence to make him absolutely devoted to you, and by the way, devotion is a feeling that's even stronger than love, then this man will be into you, addicted to you, devoted to you, and other women don't even exist for him. And that's why I want to remind you again to go to gethimkeephim.com/devoted. That's gethimkeephim.com/devoted. And to then watch this video till the very end. And you can also use a soft and warm tone of voice, because according to a study published in the journal Evolution and Human Behavior, individuals who use a soft and warm tone of voice are perceived as more attractive and trustworthy. And especially as a woman, you can use your soft feminine voice to make his legs shaky. And if you then also find things that you have in common with him and you find common ground, you make him realize that you are in fact compatible in a lot of areas, then this can also work in your favor, at least according to a study published in the Journal of Personal Relationships. And this is something that I know from my own dating life, and I know it from having coached so many amazing women on their dating journey, and I know that this feeling of compatibility is incredibly powerful. And by the way, if there is anything you want to talk to me about, if at the moment you're in a situation where you have a crush on a friend and you don't know if he likes you, or you are in a relationship that is not that fulfilling and you want to know how to improve this relationship, or you are a single woman and you're going on one date after another, but all the guys you meet on these dates are not the kind of guys that you actually want to start a relationship with, then you can also allow me to help you with that and to find the right man and to attract the right man. And if you're ready to work with me, then you can go to gethimkeephim.com/coaching to have a look at the different coaching sessions I offer. And then, as the last tip that I want to share with you today, always remember to be kind and considerate. So yes, you can kill him with kindness, or maybe I should better say you can attract him with kindness. And there is also research that proves that, because according to a study published in the journal Emotion in 2017, individuals who display kindness and consideration toward others are perceived as more attractive and desirable as potential partners. So there you have it. That's what science says, and that's how you can attract a man with psychology. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.